Hello and welcome to RIT SportsZone. I'm John DeTulio.
And I'm Taylor Beatty. The RIT men's hockey team enters the final month of the regular season looking to finish in the top 4 of the AHA standings, a position that would earn the Tigers a first-round playoff bye and a quarterfinal series here at the Gene Policini Center.
RIT hosting Army for a 2-game weekend series. The Tigers came in unbeaten in the last 15 games against the Black Knights. Second period action. Army already up 1-0 when Connor Andrew scores unassisted to put the Black Knights up by 2. Late in the period, RIT trailed 3-0 when Alex Perron-Fontaine finally gets the Tigers on the board with the wrister. His first goal of the season. It was 3-1 after 2. Late in the third, it's Perron-Fontaine firing it to the net and in to make it a 1-goal game with his second on the night, 3-2 Army. But the Tigers could not get the equalizer in the final minutes as Army adds the empty netter and takes game 1, 4-2. Game 2 between the Tigers and the Black Knights. First period, RIT on the power play, and Matt Garbowski gets the Tigers going with his team-leading 18th goal of the year. It was 1-0 Tigers. Second period action, both teams at full strength, but it's Garbowski again who lights the lamp. Number 19 on the year, it was 2-0 Tigers. It was a 1-goal game in the third when the Tigers got another opportunity on the man up, and it's Todd Skirving who takes advantage. Skirving's third on the year put RIT up 3-1. Then later in the period, RIT's top line put it away as Brad McGowan notches his 8th on the season. RIT avoids the sweep, beating the Black Knights 4-1.
The Tigers' success this season can be attributed to many factors, including the return of their captain. After missing 24 games with a broken wrist last season, Matt Garbowski is back, and the Hobie Baker nominee, awarded to college hockey's best player, is delivering his best performance yet.
Now Garbowski coming up with it here on the feed. Garbowski going in all alone. The shot, he scores! He is red hot! Matt Garbowski, his 11th of the season, and it's 3-0 RIT.
Look at this, no one's around him. And he spots it up, just gets it inside the post. You're right, he is sizzling right now.
You only played 13 games before you broke your wrist last season. How disappointing was it to miss so much?
It kind of hit me like after I watched the first game, I was like, wow, I'm really going to be missing a lot of the season. And you know, I think that coming into this year, I just wanted to do well just to kind of come back from that.
I felt really sorry for Matt. I mean, he's in his junior year and coming off a great sophomore year, and we're expecting a lot of good things. He was leading our team in scoring at the time, and then, you know, it's just a small broken bone. If it was a bigger bone, it would have been one of those 3 to 4 weeks and he would have been all set, but it's one of these bones that doesn't get a lot of blood supply, and so he really was out for the whole year.
As a captain, is it difficult to lead without physically being on the ice?
Definitely. You know, you can't really go into the room and like scream at guys after a loss or anything. It's just kind of, it was definitely a tough position and a different position for me, something I've never been in before. So it was definitely a learning process.
From a coaching standpoint, the game always looks easy. It's like, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do this? And but it's funny when you, as a player, you're so involved in the game, and if you're playing every game, you really don't see the game from a different perspective, and he had a chance to do that last year.
I got to watch, obviously, my teammates and my line mates, Brad McGowan and Josh Mitchell, and how they played, and you know, I kind of got to see the strategy behind a lot of it, and I was just kind of picking things apart, and I think I got to put that to use this year, definitely.
Garbowski flying up the near wall. Centering to McGowan. McGowan back to the wide open Garbowski. Give and go. 2-1 Tigers.
That's how you said get back to playing Tigers hockey. That's Tigers hockey.
So you're top 5 in the nation in goals and top 10 in points. Could you have envisioned a better start to your season?
I don't think so. You know, I'm really happy the way this season's been turning out, and I'm just trying to stay consistent with it, and I'm enjoying my time.
I just think that he brings so much more to the table other than that, those numbers that he brings. I mean, everyone looks at those numbers that, like I said, from face-offs to penalty killing and all the little things that go into the game he brings. And I think that's as infectious amongst his teammates. I think the numbers maybe represent the effort he puts in, but not everything he does in a game.
How important is he to your top line and getting the entire team motivated?
He's had a great year and the attention's on him, and that's great for him and deservingly so. But I think his line mates really help him out a lot as well. I think they've had great chemistry. They're all very unselfish, and I think that's a great characteristic to have as a hockey player. I think if you can play unselfishly, I think a lot of things can happen for you individually, and that's hard to tell players that, but it really is so true that the sum of your team is the pieces, and if they all can work collectively together, it makes for a better team and a better individual.
So based on his great start, he's been getting attention from scouts. What does Matt have that gives him the ability to take it to the next level?
So many offensive players have shortcomings defensively, and they probably cheat on the wrong side of the puck to get the points, and that he never cheats himself or his teammates, and I think that's the greatest compliment I can give him, is that he plays the game the right way, and he takes advantage of that, and that's probably his biggest characteristic, is just his approach, his preparation, and his work ethic.
Ideally, what does your post-college career look like?
Just getting paid to play hockey, I guess. You know, that's just the real goal. Obviously, the ultimate goal is to play in the NHL. I think that's every hockey player's goal, but you know, to play professionally and for a long time, I think that would be huge.
Down low, the shot, rebound in the goal. That's the captain, Matt Garbowski.
Welcome back to SportsZone. Allie Bennington was recruited by RIT to play for the Division III women's hockey powerhouse. Following a national championship her freshman year, Bennington led the Tigers to Division I, helping RIT capture its first conference title in just the program's second season at hockey's highest level.
Now in her final year, SportsZone sat down with the senior goaltender who's gone from a Division III recruit to one of the nation's best at Division I.
Plays held in by Martin. The backhander, Bennington the same once again. Yoxheimer down low trying to go 5-hole, but Allie is seeing everything so far.
When you recruited Allie as a D3 player, did you think she had the potential to be one of the best D1 goalies in the league?
No, I wasn't. She always had the potential because she has the size and she's very athletic in the net. It was just putting it all together. And that was, she played on a team where I thought she'd be a very good Division I goalie. And the potential was certainly there, but to see her like really truly throw herself into the craft, work on the technique, work on the just the position itself, not just relying on her size, not relying on the athletic ability, but putting it all together. Seeing that evolution with her has been, very special.
Coming into RIT, I wasn't really sure what to expect. And then coming in as well, I was behind Laura, so I knew I was going to have a lot of competition coming in. And then she was going to be there for the first few years. I didn't think she'd end up leaving, so I ended up getting pretty lucky in that aspect and getting the playing time and then being able to prove myself every year.
Canizariti coming up with it. Canizariti going in. The shot in. Allie Bennington makes the save. And we are still tied thanks to Allie Bennington.
You're having an outstanding senior season. You're first in save percentage and third in goals against average. Did you expect to have this kind of success individually coming into the season?
Coming into the season, just trying to build off last season. So, I mean, obviously, the end of last year, the whole team and me personally, we had a great run at the end of the year. So I was just looking to build off of that. So every year, you try to get better. So individually and as a team, you want to have a better experience every year. The team's been doing a great job as well, helping me out with that. I mean, I wouldn't be able to have a good season if it weren't for the players in front of me, whether it's the defense blocking shots or forwards getting back and back checking, keeping the shots to the outside. They all do a really good job helping me out and allowing me to see the saves and make those saves.
What would you say Allie's greatest moment at RIT is?
Without question, it's got to be the CHA championship game. And that was not that the game was won single-handedly by her, but she won the game. And we had a lot of players, had a ton of special efforts in that game, but, without Allie in the net, we don't win that game. It was just a huge step for her in her career and just really put herself on the map. And, in that situation, she put our team on the map we were one of 4 teams that year to win a conference championship. And to be able to do that in your second year and say that, was amazing.
What were you feeling when you were chosen for the under-22 Canadian national team development camp this summer?
I mean, obviously an unbelievable feeling. I was supposed to go to the strength and conditioning camp earlier in the summer, but I had to have surgery, so I wasn't able to go to that. So I wasn't really expecting an invite to the development camp later in the summer. The one day when the rosters came out, it was like an unbelievable honor, obviously so excited to be able to go. It was such an honor to be selected, to be able to like play alongside some of the best players in Canada at our age group.
Hey, who's in front? I'm on shot! Take the pass!
What else do you hope to accomplish throughout your amazing career here? What else do you hope to accomplish in finishing it off?
I think just ending on a good note. I mean, you kind of, every year you want to build on the previous year. So I mean, last year, CHA champions, we want to go a step up. We only want to focus on the CHA right now. I mean, obviously we'd like to take another step and end up going into the NCAAs, but right now our focus is only on every weekend and all those league games and getting to that step. So I'd say just ending the season, we want to win every weekend at this point. So I think that's the goal right now for the rest of the year. For me, for the team, it's just trying to get at least 3 out of 4 points every weekend and trying to get some points and make up some ground in the standings at this point.
It's going to be sad to see your goal, but you know what? I truly believe she's made the most of her 4 years. It's part of the game, and you have to live with it, and someone's going to have to step up and fill the void.
Welcome back to SportsZone. Millions of sports and recreation-related concussions occur in the United States each year. While some are quickly identified, many cases go undiagnosed.
As SportsZone's Laura DiMartino reports, an RIT alum and his company here in Rochester are tackling this growing epidemic head-on in the hopes of making sports safer.
David Borkholder founded Black Box Biometrics in 2011.
So our mission is to develop personnel-worn devices that measure concussive forces, and really for identifying individuals that may be at risk of traumatic brain injury or concussion.
After developing sensors that track the forces behind these injuries for the U.S. military, Black Box Biometrics turned their attention to sports with the development of the Lynx Impact Assessment System.
So the Lynx IAS measures sports-related impacts on the head. So it fits into skull caps and headbands, and it's housed in a very small, thin device that transmits data in real time to a sideline application.
That application then alerts coaches, trainers, and even parents of potential concussion-causing impacts.
The color-coded system is intended to give the user a qualitative indication of severity. So green levels are impacts where, based on historic data, people have not experienced concussions. Yellow levels are just when people have started to experience concussions. And when you get to red, it's more than half of individuals with that exposure level have experienced concussions. So we've tried to quantify it there. Every individual is going to be different. The device does not diagnose a concussion, and you can't prevent any specific impact. But what it does do is it gives you that quantitative information about events as they occur. So you can identify individuals that are at risk, and so you can make better decisions during practice or play for that athlete, whether you decide you're going to observe them or pull them out for a sideline assessment. It also can help you to tune athletic technique. So if you, during practice, if you're monitoring impacts and you see that the levels from an individual are higher than others, then you might look at specifically what they're doing and look to change behaviors with the goal of ultimately reducing the number and severity of impacts in play.
And while there is similar technology already being used, the Lynx IAS takes a more targeted approach.
Most of those attach to the helmet. So they're measuring the forces that are experienced by the helmet, not those that are experienced by the head. So ours is designed to give the most accurate readings that are possible. And we work with helmeted and non-helmeted sports.
The Lynx IAS will be available on Amazon and lynxias.com in March for $199.
The device is currently being used by a few local high schools and colleges. However, none of the athletic teams here at RIT are currently using the technology. As a standout point guard in high school, A.J. Horde caught the eye of RIT basketball coach Bob McVeen. Horde averaged 20 points and 7 assists per game while earning All-Detroit in All-State honors.
But a torn ACL forced Horde to miss his freshman season. Now, after a year off, the Tigers have discovered Horde was worth the wait.
At guard for your RIT Tigers, a 5'8" freshman from Oak Park, Michigan, number 1, A.J. Horde.
What was your recruiting process like in coming to RIT?
I came here and I did a visit in the spring. I got to hang out with some of the guys and play. I met the staff, and it felt like at home. I think that was like a big thing. Also, Coach sent a lot of personal letters that were handwritten, and I think that like made me feel at home, like I was coming to somewhere that wanted me to be here.
Well, I'm old school. I know coaches text all the time now, but I really think a very personal letter, and I still write them to recruits. I think hopefully it shows a sincere interest.
How hard was it watching AJ sit on the bench last year while he was hurt instead of playing in the games?
Well, we knew what he was capable of doing and to help our program. It's been a number of years since we've had somewhat of a point guard that has the ability to score. It was certainly very disappointing. He was very positive about the future. You always worry, though, about not playing a year, being a distance from home, but he stayed connected with the team, stayed very much involved outside the lines, and certainly it's benefited all of us this year from that standpoint.
How hard was it sitting out all of last year?
Definitely tough. One of the harder things I ever had to do. Made me think about how much I really wanted to play basketball and made me work really hard, but I think it was a learning experience that I needed. A lot of the times I questioned if I was either going to walk. I mean, you had to learn how to walk again, so that was a big thing. But after I got over that and I realized like this is something I really wanted to do, like I knew like I had to be back, so it was fun.
Were you ever worried that AJ might not return to his top form after his injury?
Always. Everybody's different. I've seen players that not come back at all, and some will come back and re-injure, or they'll be slowed a step or two. He was very positive about the future. He stayed connected with the team, stayed very much involved outside the lines, and certainly it's benefited all of us this year from that standpoint.
What kind of rehab program did you go through last year to get better?
Oh, it was intense. I started rehab like the second day after surgery, but I had to do a lot of squats, a lot of things that working the muscles of your quads and hamstring and getting all that strength back and all that before you could even get lateral quickness back. So
it really goes back to his dedication. In 6 months, he was playing full out. So that told you, and I told him to, I know he was so anxious to get going again, but you got to do what the doctors tell you and in the time frame, or you're going to have a setback, and if you had another setback, it might be permanent.
You're currently leading the team in scoring. How did you come back from that injury and have such a successful season?
Well, I worked out a lot this summer, but I also watched a lot of film, wanted to understand how I could pick my spots and score while making other people better at the same time.
Has your injury changed the way you play at all?
I think it's made me more smart as a player. Like I understand more time and score and positions to make, picking my spots and things like that. A little less all out, but I understand things a little bit more.
Even though you're leading the team in scoring as a freshman, what else do you hope to accomplish throughout your time here?
Well, on the team level, I really want to win national championship, and I think we're just a few inches from getting to the tournament and making a run in there, and anything can happen. I also want to win a Liberty League championship as a team. And on a more personal level, I would like to hopefully win Freshman of the Year and maybe make that into like a national thing, eventually become an All-American or things like that.
Well, that does it for this edition of RIT SportsZone.
Don't forget, you can stay up to date with SportsZone by following us on Twitter and Instagram, liking us on Facebook, or by downloading our app for your Android or Apple device.
So until next time, thanks for joining us here in the Zone. Game 1, 4-2. Game 2 between the Tigers and the Black Knights. First period, RIT on the power play, and Matt Garbowski gets the Tigers going with his team-leading 18th goal of the year. It was 1-0 Tigers. Second period action, both teams at full strength, but it's Garbowski again who lights the lamp. Number 19 on the year, it was 2-0 Tigers. It was a one-goal game in the third when the Tigers got another opportunity on the man up, and it's Todd Skirving who takes advantage. Skirving's third on the year put RIT up 3-1. Then later in the period, RIT's top line put it away as Brad McGowan notches his 8th on the season. RIT avoids the sweep, beating the Black Knights 4-1.
The Tigers' success this season can be attributed to many factors, including the return of their captain. After missing 24 games with a broken wrist last season, Matt Garbowski is back, and the Hobie Baker nominee awarded to college hockey's best player.
Already up 1-0 when Connor Andrews scores unassisted to put the Black Knights up by 2. Late in the period, RIT trailed 3-0 when Alex Perron-Fontaine finally gets the Tigers on the board with the wrister. His first goal of the season, it was 3-1 after 2. Late in the third, it's Perron-Fontaine firing it to the net and in to make it a one-goal game with his second on the night, 3-2 Army. But the Tigers could not get the equalizer in the final minutes as Army adds the empty netter and takes game. Hello and welcome to RIT SportsZone. I'm John DeTulio.
And I'm Taylor Beatty. The RIT men's hockey team enters the final month of the regular season looking to finish in the top 4 of the AHA standings, a position that would earn the Tigers a first-round playoff bye and a quarterfinal series here at the Gene Policini Center.
RIT hosting Army for a 2-game weekend series. The Tigers came in unbeaten in the last 15 games against the Black Knights. Second period action, Army already